Warning, the real reason they wanted to get rid of you, my beloved child. There was always something about you that unsettled certain people, even when you were silent. You walked into rooms carrying a quiet light you could not see in yourself, and somehow they saw it before you ever did. That is why this message found you now. You spent years wondering why some connections suddenly turned cold, why certain people smiled in front of you, yet carried hidden storms behind your back, why you were misunderstood even when your heart was pure. The truth is, your presence awakened something inside others they could not explain, and instead of understanding it, they tried to erase it. Not because you were weak, not because you failed, but because there was something within you that refused to break, even after betrayal, even after loneliness. You remember those nights, don't you? The moments when the world became painfully quiet, when you stared into the darkness feeling like no one truly understood your heart, like you were carrying invisible wounds no one could see. And yet, you kept going. That silent endurance became your power. The storms that were meant to destroy you slowly shaped you into someone deeper, someone wiser, someone capable of seeing through masks and hidden intentions. But that was only the beginning. There were people who sensed this transformation long before you recognized it yourself. They noticed how you survived situations that should have shattered you, how you continued showing kindness after disappointment, how your spirit kept rising like the sun after endless nights of rain. And secretly, that frightened them, because your existence became a mirror, a reflection they could not escape. Your resilience exposed the emptiness they tried to hide inside themselves. Your calmness disturbed those who thrived on confusion. Your heart reminded them of everything they abandoned within their own soul. That is the real reason some people wanted distance from you. Not because you lacked value, but because your energy carried truth. And truth has always made darkness uncomfortable. Stay with this message, because there is something even deeper you need to understand. The rejection you experienced was never proof that you were unworthy. Sometimes the path becomes lonely because your spirit is being prepared for higher understanding. Just like ancient travelers crossing cold mountains beneath the stars, there are journeys meant only for old souls willing to keep walking through uncertainty. And you have been walking that path for longer than you realize. Deep inside, you always felt different, even as a child. You noticed emotions others ignored. You felt the weight behind words. You sensed when something was wrong long before anyone admitted it. People may have called you too sensitive, too emotional, too quiet, too intense. But your sensitivity was never a flaw. It was awareness. It was discernment. It was the reason you survived situations that should have consumed your peace completely. And now, slowly, everything is beginning to make sense. What happened next changed everything. The hardest part was never the betrayal itself. It was the moment you realized how long you had been carrying pain in silence. You kept forgiving, kept understanding, kept giving pieces of your heart to people who never truly protected it, and still, you blamed yourself. You wondered if maybe you were asking for too much honesty, too much loyalty, too much care. But look closely at your journey now. Every chapter reveals the same hidden pattern. You were often surrounded by people who benefited from your light, while secretly hoping you would never recognize your own worth. That realization hurts deeply, because your soul was never built for manipulation. You entered connections sincerely. You loved sincerely. You trusted sincerely. And that purity became rare in a world filled with hidden intentions. There were moments when they watched you struggle quietly, moments when they knew you were exhausted emotionally. Yet instead of helping you heal, They became comfortable watching you doubt yourself. That is why your spirit felt so heavy around certain people. Energy speaks long before words do, and your heart was always trying to warn you. Those sudden feelings of emptiness, those nights of unexplained sadness, those moments when your chest felt tight around certain conversations. Your soul was noticing what your mind tried to ignore. But you continued giving chances because that is who you are. You believed people could change. You believed kindness could soften hardened hearts. And sometimes it can. But there are seasons where distance becomes protection, not punishment, not revenge, protection, like a traveler leaving behind a burning forest before the smoke steals their breath. And this is where your story becomes different. Because instead of allowing bitterness to consume you, something inside you began awakening, quietly, slowly. You started seeing through false smiles. You stopped explaining your pain to people committed to misunderstanding you. You began protecting your peace instead of constantly defending your worth. And that shift changed the energy around your entire life. Even if you do not fully see it yet, there is a reason your path became quieter recently, a reason certain people disappeared, a reason old doors slowly closed. Sometimes isolation arrives not to destroy you, but to reconnect you with yourself again. In the silence, you started hearing your own spirit more clearly, not the noise of opinions, not the pressure to become someone else, just your true self beneath all the exhaustion. And that version of you is powerful. You are not here to shrink so others feel comfortable. You are not here to spend your life begging for acceptance. You are not here to carry guilt for being different. Some souls were always meant to walk a deeper path, a sacred path shaped through endurance and inner transformation. Think about everything you survived already, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the silent battles nobody knew you were fighting. You survived all of it. Not perfectly, not without scars, but you survived. And those scars became proof of your resilience, not your weakness. That is something no one can take away from you now. There is one final truth your heart has always known. The people who tried to dim your light were never the authors of your destiny. They were only temporary shadows passing across your path. And shadows disappear the moment light fully rises. But the next part of your journey reveals why your spirit could never truly be broken.